looking at a favourite with vegans, tofu. But tofu itself has a very sort of bland flavour. There's not a lot to it. It's made of soybeans, comes in various different forms. We'll be using the slightly firmer version of the standard tofu today, although there are fried tofus and also seasoned and slightly dry tofu as well. Working with tofu, you've got to be mindful that it is quite delicate. You can't give it, too much tossing around in the pan. It will break up. But also, that's also an ideal way to serve as well if you're looking for that kind of texture, something that replaces the egg-like texture in your dish. Today we're using it with our Yao's black bean sauce. So the black bean sauce was again a very early product for us. Made the traditional way with fermented black soybeans, plenty of ginger in there as well. And what we've tried to do with our sauce is to create a more intense black bean experience, but without all the salt. Okay, so it coats the bottom of the pan. Now, my first ingredient to go in will be the tofu. One of the reasons for that is we need to have a fairly clear pan so that we can actually cook the tofu on both sides without it breaking down and without too many other ingredients getting in the way. So what will happen is that I'm just going to pop these in. Turn that down a little bit whilst I do that. Tofu goes in. Try not to put too much of the water in there, so just the tofu. So I've got all my tofu now in the bottom of the pan, all laid flat in the flat area if possible. You could of course use just like a generously sized frying pan, or even a wok. So nowadays you can pick up tofu from the major supermarkets. Cauldron is a very popular brand, but you'll actually get more choice if you go to a specialist retailer. So a Chinese supermarket will stock different varieties of firmness, so you get quite a firm tofu, which basically means more of the moisture has been pressed out of it. You can get a soft tofu, and as I said earlier, they do the fried tofu and the seasoned tofu. And quite interestingly, you can actually, in some places, particularly in London, you can get a tofu dessert. So it's like a very sort of soft, runny version of a tofu, and then they serve that with some sugar syrup, and that's a really popular traditional Chinese dessert. A bit more of a brown colour going on there, yeah, you can see that. Now, what I'm going to do with this, just transfer that out of the pan. Now, I'm just going to put that to one side for now, because I'm going to reuse the pan. Another drop of oil in so that I can get the vegetables moving more easily.
Connection went a bit.
Okay, so I've got a bit of a drop out there, but yep, oil's in the pan. Let that heat up a bit, in go the onions. I'm going to put the mange tout in next. Just remember, each time you're adding an ingredient, you're reducing the temperature in the pan. So add your ingredients one at a time. Let the pan catch up, let the heat build up again. And then you can move on to the next ingredient. So the carrots go in now. We like to leave our vegetables with a little bit of crunch, so I'm not going to cook these for too long, and they have been sliced quite thinly, so it won't take that long to cook. So keep them stirred, pop in the spring onion next. Quick shake of the jar. Pop the lid. Now for this amount of vegetables, it's about a two-person serving. So I'm going to put in half the jar. You can simply serve the sauce and the vegetables over the tofu and then present that as a dish. Or if they cool down too much, you can actually put them back in the pan. So that's what I'm going to do now. Just slide them back in there. And then give them a quick toss in the pan. And finishing touch, just a bit of coriander sprinkled over the top.